The SP-404 Mark II 5.5 update is finally here, and it brings a much requested feature. Let's get into it as soon as I shout out today's patron. And that patron shout out goes to Boris. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's get started. So with 404 Day just around the corner, or depending on where you are in the world when this video releases, it might already be 404 Day, so happy 404 Day. Roland has once again given us a new firmware update, this one bearing the number 5.5, and it only brings one feature with it. However, it is one of the most requested features that the community has wanted for the 404 for years, and that is Sidechain Compression. So yes, we finally have Sidechain Compression on the SP-404 Mark II. Thank you, Roland. It's not perfect, I'm not gonna lie, but it also does just go to illustrate how versatile this device is, because even though it's not perfect, with the resampling workflow and the way patterns and like mutes and stuff work, it's really gonna be able to shine, especially once people get some time with it under their belt and really start to, explore it a bit more. So if you don't know, sidechain compression is basically just when one sound can sort of duck another. So it's how you get that pumping effect in a lot of electronic music, and that's pretty much all there is to it at the basic level. So to get to the sidechain compression section, we need to hold Shift and go to pad 16. This just simply gets us to our effects settings. Here we can use the knob on the right to tab through the different tabs. And after bus 4, we see a new sidechain menu. So it's actually pretty simple. We can choose our source, we can choose our target, then we can adjust normal sidechain parameters, threshold, ratio, release, and gain. Now, I mentioned it's not perfect, and I believe a lot of that has to do with the fact that it just uses the bus system for the source and target. So your options for source are any dry sound, any sound on bus 1, any sound on bus 2, any sound on bus 3, and any sound on bus 4. Your target options are off for no sidechain, all of the dry sounds, all of the sounds on bus 1, all of the sounds on bus 2, bus 3, or bus 4. Now, granted, I still am very much a student of this device, but it kind of seems almost useless to have buses 3 and 4 as options, because typically most people are routing, I think, all of their sounds through buses 3 and 4, as those are sort of the master effects. Like if you look here, everything goes through 3 and 4. You don't get to just send stuff through 3 or just through 4. And granted, I could be missing something there because there's just so many shortcuts and button combinations that I still don't know. But in my time with this device, it seems everything goes through 3 or 4. So I'm not exactly sure what the point of that is. Anyway, back to sidechain. You'll notice I closed out of the menu. That's because I want to show you sort of a before and after. So the other day I was messing around on my electronic drum set, and I used a snare drum hit going through the resonator on board here to give us these samples. I then also ran my bass guitar into the input down here and played a little line. And I sampled a kick drum. And then here I have it as a pattern that I actually put into a sample and looped it. Speaking of patterns, let's go there. Here I've sort of built this sequence up using the sequencer. It sounds nice. There's really no life to it, but it sounds okay. But now with sidechain compression, I can really bring it to life. So if we trigger one of these, here, we'll just do this one. Go back to our sample select. You can see we're using these 3 samples. We're also using the bass line, and then we're using this kick drum sample. Now let's talk about the color of the pads. Hopefully these are coming through on camera, but these 3 pads here are chords. Are orange, which indicates that they are sent to bus 1. The baseline sample is also orange, so it's being sent to bus 1. But the kick drum sample is white, meaning that it is a dry sample. It's not being sent to any bus. We're going to go Shift and EFX settings. Go back to the sidechain menu. Our sidechain source is going to be dry, aka this kick drum or this looped kick drum, right? Those are going to be the sidechain source. Let's set target now to bus 1. So this kick drum sound is going to duck the sound of any pads that are orange, anything being sent to bus 1. Now let's listen to this same pattern. Hear how it just springs to life? Oh, it's so nice. And of course, there's a lot of different settings we could mess with here too. I just quickly dialed in something that I thought sounded decent, but extreme enough to really hear the difference. Let's turn it off. There it is back on. Huge difference. Okay, so right there what I did was I held Shift and Reverse, which allows me to enter pad mute mode, so I can instantly mute any sounds, which is just a generally helpful thing to do. By the way, I also found out you can hit Remain when you're doing that, and now you're permanently in pad mute mode, so that's pretty cool. But when it comes to sidechaining, I know I said that it's not perfect, and I might prefer it to be like a pad muting other pad situation. Using the buses does sort of allow you to mute things in real time and then let other elements shine. So I was able to mute that kick drum right there, which then stopped sidechaining our little chords. It also stopped sidechaining the bass. So there are some cool things that having the sidechain function bound to the bus setup lets you do. It's just going to be a bit of juggling kind of to figure out how to manage effects and the buses, you know, bouncing around here, probably actually going in, turning sidechain on and off like in the middle of performance, using Remain a lot to toggle between the different buses for sounds. That's another thing. You can just straight up like... Now we're not sidechained at all. So there are a lot of cool things that you can do. And of course, we can resample. So you still will be able to get that pumping effect baked into your samples and then your patterns. And then you don't have to worry about the actual sidechain menu when you're playing for real or, you know, performing or whatever, because you just already have that pump baked into the sample. At the end of the day, it's simply another tool you can use to push your music on the 404 Mark II a little bit further, and it's going to come in clutch for a lot of musicians who work in genres that really want sidechain. I'm very excited to dive into some more synthwave on the 404 Mark II, and I'm also excited to dive into maybe a little chiptune. There's so much you can do with this thing. And while the sidechain introduced in this update is not perfect, it's so much better than nothing and having zero option for sidechain at all, other than the kind of goofy workarounds that we've all been trying to come up with for the past 3-4 years. So yeah, thank you, Roland. Awesome update. And by the way, Roland did not send me this update early, nor did they send me the 404. I actually got this from Zounds.com. And my partnership with them. So I truly have no stake in Roland liking this video or disliking it. I'm just giving you my thoughts, and they are positive. So if you got a 404 Mark II, go ahead and download the update. By the way, it now also does support exFAT formatted SD cards, which is apparently quite a bit faster. So I haven't really tested that yet, but something to look out for sure. I do hope you found this video informative or at least entertaining. If you did, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.